Smack-a-ma-gob, it's time for another one of these. Hey, these are the bands I met. This is part 3, so let's get into this. First, the mighty Billy Milano. What a cool dude. SOD. I met him during MOD too. I met him at an MOD show, but it was much later. Sang on some classic albums like Speak English or Die, USA for MOD. Very underrated Gross Misconduct. And extremely underrated Rhythm of Fear. The album after Gross Misconduct, man, that album rocks, man. It's an awesome album. Check out the song Irresponsible in case you don't know it. Next, Billy Sheehan. Yes, the mighty Billy Sheehan. I met him again in Nashville. But this is the first time I met him. And this was much later. This was at a Winery Dogs show. And you know, the Winery Dogs had a meet and greet and stuff. And Mike Portnoy made sure that the people that paid for meet and greet aren't going to meet him. But Billy Sheehan and Richie Kotzen didn't care. So I got to meet both of those guys. And they were awesome. I love Billy Sheehan, man. I was into Billy Sheehan before David Lee Roth. I love that album, Talus, High Speed on Ice. I owned that shit before he joined Diamond Dave. That's why when they did Shy Boy, I was like, holy fuck, that's Talus. Anyway, Billy Sheehan rules. Alright, this is Tommy Stouch, I think his last name was. He played drums for Blind Guardian. It was the only time Blind Guardian came down here. And I took pictures with several members of Blind Guardian, which will be in future episodes because I can't find them now. But I know I did. This is the only one I found. And Blind Guardian, man, what a show. Awesome band. And it was cool meeting them after the show. Nice guys. All right, next. This is one of many pictures you'll see. And coming is Blitz from Overkill. I've met that guy so many damn times. I've seen Overkill. Woo! It's overkill how many times I've seen Overkill. Seriously. It's just insane. Anyway, and to meet the greatest guitar player from Overkill, Bobby Gustafson, who lives down here now. He's a super nice guy. We're friendly to each other. He did a guitar solo on our cover of Overkill's Hammerhead. It's on, you can hear it here on YouTube. He did the solo for it. Awesome dude. And Bobby Gustafson. The guy is such a badass that when he was out of Overkill, they had to replace him with 2 guitar players. And in my opinion, it still didn't match the greatness. To me, man, first album up to Year of Decay. Year of Decay is my favorite. But forget it. The original Overkill with Bobby Gustafson up to Time to Kill with Sid on drums, Rat, Sid, all awesome stuff. To me, that's the greatest Overkill, in my opinion. All right, next, Brian Posehn. This dude ended up liking our band. You know, he's not an artist in a band, but he does stand up, and I was at one of the stand-up shows, and he heard my band, and I gave him a shirt. As you can see here. Nice dude. Very tall. And I'm 5'11". Look how much he towers over me. Alright, next. Bruce Kulick. Yeah, this is a Grand Funk gig. And he used to, when he was very young, he used to date a girl that now is married to one of my best friends. So they're still friendly to each other. And we all went backstage. And he treated me really good. And he gave me a copy of Audio Dog. He was very, very nice. So, Bruce Kulick right there. Alright, next. Burning Witches. Yeah, this was recent. Who did they open for again? KK's Priest, man. And they were awesome. And yeah, Burning Witches. I also met Courtney Cox. Is that her name? The guitar player. She was also in the Iron Maidens. Anyway. Cool as hell. Great band. Check them out. They rule. Next. Carmine Appice. Yes, he did a drum clinic thing here. And I went to go check it out. And talked to him a little bit, got a picture with him. He's legendary, man. Carmine Appice. His brother wants to be known as... No, wait. Carmine Appice. Yeah, Carmine Appice. Vinny Appice. Yeah. And then their dad pronounces it the correct way. Appice. Alright, this is my good friend Denise from down here. And we're both hanging out with Sean Peck from Cage. But what we saw was the Three Tremors tour. But I'm a huge fan of Cage. I have basically everything they released. And I brought it all with me so he can sign it all. And turn out the guitar player in Cage was in the Three Tremors, so he got to sign it as well. Cool dude, great voice, man. Check out Hell Destroyer from Cage and tell me that's not some awesome metal. Alright, Carl Kennedy from the Rods. Huge fan of the Rods, you can see. I showed up with my Rods t-shirt and with all my Rods vinyl for Carl to sign. He's legendary, man, in my world. And, you know, he helped record my favorite Anthrax album, Fistful of Metal, and a bunch of other stuff, man. And original drummer for Manowar, actually, before the first album. Guy's got a history. He's got a cool book out there now. And he was recently on Almost Human Live. So check out that interview. It's pretty damn cool. But yeah, what I forgot to mention was Carl was in town with this band. They were recording, and the guy that owns the studio is a good friend of mine because I've recorded at that studio too. And he told me, Carl from the Rods is going to be here, you know, tomorrow if you want to come by. I was like, hell yeah. So that's how I knew Carl was there. And we spent, I'm telling you, like 6 hours with the guy. Telling us stories. He's just a classy dude. Awesome dude. Carl Kennedy rules. And so do the Rods. Alright, Carlos Cavazo, Quiet Riot. I met him all that night. I took pictures with all of them that night, so I'm sure you'll see those in future episodes because this is the only one I see here so far. Carlos Cavazo, nice guy, man. Underrated guitar player. I think he's phenomenal. Cool dude, too. Very nice. Carlos Cavazo. Our next, Chris Broderick. This guy was in Jag Panzer and Megadeth and super nice guy, man. I saw him on the boat. I believe it was the motorboat, the Motorhead cruise. And yeah, he was just walking around. I was like, hey, Chris, man. And we just got to talking, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. Took a picture. Super nice guy. All right, next, Johnny Lee Middleton from Sabotage. Man, I wish I could have had a camera when I met Chris Oliva back in the day. I met Chris twice, man. I met him the day before he died, the very last show. And I had a really cool conversation with him, and my God, he was one of my favorites. But Johnny Lee Middleton's an awesome bass player. Played on my favorite Sabotage album, Hall of the Mountain King. Awesome dude, awesome player. All right, so next, Chuck Wright. This guy played on pretty much, no, he just played on 2 songs on Metal Health, right? I think he played on Bang Your Head and Don't Want to Let You Go, maybe? I don't know. Nice guy. You know, the bass player that was there before Rudy, then replaced Rudy, and now Rudy replaced him. But hope he's doing well, Chuck Wright. Next, Chuck Billy from Testament. I met him many times. Always nice, pleasant dude. Yeah, nothing really that much to say about him. He's just a really nice guy. All right, next, Dan Lilliker. This was the same time I met Billy Milano, where Billy had blonde hair. When I went to go see the SOD show up in Orlando, which was one of the greatest shows I ever seen in my life. It was phenomenal. And we hung out with Dan Lilliker quite a bit that day. A long time. I won't get into details, but it was fun hanging out with the dude. All right, next. Oh, this one's sad, man. Jeff LaBar. He passed away, the guy from Cinderella. This wasn't at a Cinderella show. This was at a comedy show. in Nashville, and he was there. And after the comedy show, we all hung out afterwards and just talked for a while with the guy. A group with us with Jeff, and he was a super nice guy. And I'm very sad to hear that he has passed away. But anyway, that's it for the stars I met for this time around. There will be a part 4. Shit, I think there'll be a part 30. There's so many people I've met. But, and I even met more that I didn't take pictures with, so I won't be talking about them. But again, thank you everybody who's tuned in. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and press that little notification bell. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and schmack 'em a gob.